In a small village nestled between mountains and rivers, there lived a boy named Udoka. Udoka was the first child of his parents, and he had a younger brother named Hugo. As children, Udoka and Hugo were very close. They would eat together, play together, and do almost everything together. Since Udoka was the oldest child and Hugo was his only sibling, Udoka loved Hugo so much. He was proud of his younger brother and took him everywhere he went. The two brothers attended the same primary school, and even though Udoka was a few classes ahead of Hugo, he ensured that he ate with Hugo every day whenever it was break time. If Hugo were in trouble with any of the village children, Udoka would beat up the children on Hugo's behalf, and he always defended Hugo. Udoka never allowed anyone, whether big or small, to bully Hugo, and he ensured that his brother never lacked anything. Right from when Udoka was very little, his parents had already told him that it was his responsibility to look after Hugo, and as a result, Udoka grew up always putting his brother's needs before his own. For example, if there was only a small portion of food at home for Udoka and Hugo to eat, instead of sharing the food with Hugo, Udoka would prefer to let Hugo eat everything, and he would go to bed hungry. Sometimes, if Udoka and Hugo went to their parents' farm to assist their parents with planting or harvesting crops, Udoka would help Hugo do his share of the work first before he did his. To Udoka, after his parents, Hugo was the most important person in the world, and he was willing to do anything just to make his brother happy. Things continued like this for many years until Hugo got used to Udoka making sacrifices for him. In fact, because of this, Hugo grew up to be very entitled and expected Udoka to do everything for him at all times. This mentality also made Hugo very lazy and unserious about life because he believed that Udoka would always be there to help him out. As time passed, the two brothers grew older, and Udoka's love for his brother grew, too. Unfortunately, when Udoka was just 17 years old, their parents mysteriously died in their sleep, and by the time Udoka found their bodies in the morning, their stomachs had swollen up, and their bodies were cold. When this happened, Hugo was only 12 years old, and as a result of their parents' untimely death, Udoka had to take full responsibility for Hugo. Shortly after their parents were buried, Udoka started farming on some of their parents' farmlands, and luckily for him, the harvest was good. From the profit Udoka made from selling the mature crops, Udoka enrolled Hugo in one of the best secondary schools in their village. Since Udoka had already completed his secondary school education before his parents passed away, Udoka had to pause his plans of going to the university so he could look after Hugo and help send him to school. The whole time, Udoka worked tirelessly on the different farmlands. Hugo did not help him for once because he believed Udoka could handle everything, which he did. But despite all the stress and struggles Udoka went through to send Hugo to a very good secondary school, Hugo did not appreciate any of it. The first school Udoka enrolled Hugo in, Hugo caused a lot of trouble there and he was expelled from the school in less than 1 year. It turned out that Hugo joined some bad boys in school to break into a teacher's apartment, and they made away with expensive fabrics, shoes, jewelries, and so much more. So, not only was Hugo expelled, Udoka had to pay for all the things Hugo and his friends had stolen and sold. At first, when this happened, Udoka believed that Hugo had acted that way because he was still stressed from their parents' demise, but when Hugo did the same thing in the second school Udoka enrolled him in, Udoka was forced to talk to him. "Hugo, what exactly is your problem?" Udoka asked Hugo. "This is the second time you have been expelled from school because you stole. Is this how you want to live your life?" Udoka asked angrily. "Udoka, I don't like how you're talking to me. Why would you believe those people over your own brother?" "I told you that I was framed and didn't steal anything," Hugo said. "So, you want to tell me that two schools framed you for something you did not do?" Udoka asked, but Hugo did not answer. "I don't know why you're like this. There is nothing I have not done to give you a comfortable life ever since our parents passed away," Udoka said. "Why are you bringing Mama and Papa into this, no?" Yugo asked. Why won't I bring them into this? If they were still alive, would you do what you just did? Udoka asked, but Yugo did not answer. If you ask for something, I always give it to you. I work hard every day just to ensure that I meet your needs, but it seemed like you do not want to go to school, so I will make this very clear. Tomorrow, you and I will go to the boys' school in the next village, and I will enroll you there, Udoka said. But it's a boarding school, I don't want to attend a boarding school, Yugo said. You should have thought of that before you broke into the teacher's apartment in the first school or before you stole from the school's farm in the second school. Listen to me, Yugo, if you go to this new school and I hear that you did something bad, just forget about schooling. Because I will not waste my energy and resources for you again. You will just take one of Papa's farms, and you will start farming on it, Udoka warned Yugo. As soon as Yugo heard that, he went to his knees and began to beg Udoka. It's not about begging me, it's about you changing from your bad ways, Udoka said. I promise you will not hear any complaints about me again. I will stay out of trouble and graduate with good grades, Yugo said. You better do, because this is the end of the road for you, Udoka said. Surprisingly, after Udoka enrolled Yugo in the boys' school in their neighboring, Yugo did not cause any trouble. In fact, up until Yugo completed his secondary school education there were no complaints about him and he was always at his best behavior. Luckily for Yugo, he graduated with very good grades and because of that, he gained admission into a very good university. Since Udoka could no longer go to the university because of his responsibility to Yugo, he was very happy when Yugo gained admission. In fact, because of Yugo's admission, Udoka literally worked day and night so Yugo could have everything he needed at the university. Before Yugo left for the university in the city, Udoka rented him a comfortable one-bedroom apartment. He bought him a new phone, clothes, and shoes, and he packed a lot of foodstuffs for Yugo. Udoka even instructed Yugo to call him whenever he needed something and also gave Yugo a lot of money for his upkeep. As Udoka had expected, sponsoring Yugo's university education was not the same as his secondary school education. It was more expensive and barely allowed Udoka to save up some money for himself. Thankfully, after years of farming, Udoka came up with an idea to start a business, and he started a fabric business. Luckily for Udoka, his fabric business was very lucrative, and he made a lot of money from it. It was the money that Udoka made from his fabric business that he used to marry a wife, start a family, and sponsor Udoka's university education until he graduated. Udoka's wife, Soma, was a very good woman. She helped Udoka manage and grow his business. Aside from helping Udoka look after his fabric business, Soma also helped Udoka with farming. She would hire some people to help them clear their farmlands and plant crops. Then, when the harvesting season was near, she would pay some people to help them harvest the crops. After 2 years of marriage, Soma gave birth to a very beautiful daughter, and they named her Cheta. Cheta was around 2 years old when her uncle, Yugo, completed his youth service and returned to the village. The day Yugo returned to the village, Udoka was so happy that he organized a small house party to celebrate his brother's success. Initially, when Yugo returned to the village, Udoka believed that he would stay there for a short time and then return to the city, but when 5 months passed and Yugo didn't say anything about finding work or returning to the city, Udoka became very worried, and he was forced to talk to Yugo one evening. Yugo, my brother, Udoka said, I'm very proud of you for achieving the heights neither our parents nor I could achieve, he added. Thank you very much, Udoka. You can now brag that you have a graduate in your family, Yugo said. Yes, oh. You don't know how happy I am. My prayer is for God to keep me alive so Cheta can follow in your footsteps, Udoka said. Don't worry, she will. She is a smart child, and I know she will love school, Yugo answered. My brother, the reason I called for this meeting is because there's something that has been giving me sleepless nights, Udoka said. What is it? Yugo asked. It's about you, Yugo. It's been more than 5 months now, and you haven't said anything about returning to the city. I thought that by now, you would have gotten a good job and moved back to the city, Udoka said. But brother, I am not complaining. I like it here in the village, and when I'm ready, I will return to the city. Besides, we still have Papa's land here that we are planting on, and I also consider that as work, Yugo said. No. You cannot say that. You spent almost 7 years in the university to get your degree. So it is wrong to return to the village to farm after all that schooling. The purpose of education is so that you can stand out amongst us and not be like us. Leave farming for me, go and find a befitting job in the city, Udoka said. My brother. You know how things are, getting a job in the city is not that easy. I prefer to remain in the village and farm. At least Papa left 6 farmlands for us, and that's enough to take care of our needs, Yugo said. But Yugo, you haven't even searched for a job. The farmland you're talking about, am I not the only one doing the work? Udoka said. You're my older brother, so you have to take care of me, Yugo said playfully. Don't worry, brother. When it's time, I will go back to the city. For now, let me relax here with you and your family. After all, this is just my first time staying in your new house, Yugo said. When Yugo said that, Udoka expected that Yugo would stay for 1 or 2 more months before leaving for the city, but 5 years passed, and Yugo still lived in the village. The worst part was that even when Yugo chose to remain in the village, he did not help Udoka and his wife with any farm work. Instead, he preferred to depend on Udoka for everything, including his feeding, clothing, and other essentials. If Yugo needed money, all he had to do was go to Udoka's house and ask for it, and Udoka would give it to him without asking any questions. Aside from the money Udoka gave Yugo, whenever Udoka sold all the crops he harvested from their farmlands, he would split the profit into 2 and give Yugo half of it. But every time Yugo collected half of the profit, he would squander it in a few days, and the next thing he would be broke again and would have to ask Udoka for money. One day, Yugo went to Udoka's house as usual to ask for some money, but Udoka refused to give him any. Yugo, was it not just last week that I gave you part of the profit we made? Udoka asked angrily. My brother, something came up, and it took all of the money, Yugo said. That is what you always say. I'm sorry, but I cannot help you this time. The money I have is for a purpose. I want to enroll Cheta in a better school, and what I have is for her school fees, Udoka said. So does that mean that you will not help me? Yugo asked. Yugo, I cannot help you this time. You should learn how to keep money and not squander it all at once, Udoka said. When Yugo heard that, he got angry and walked out of Udoka without saying a word. That day, Yugo could not stop thinking of how his brother had refused to help him, and while heading to his house, he bumped into one of his village friends. Oh, Yugo, this one, your face is like this, I hope all is well, Yugo's friend asked. All is not well. Right now, I am so angry at my brother, Udoka, Yugo said. Angry at Udoka? What did he do? Yugo's friend asked. Can you believe that I went to my own brother's house to ask for help and he turned me down, Yugo said. What happened? What did he say? Yugo's friend asked. He said that he could not give me the money I asked for because he wanted to change Cheta's school, Yugo explained. So because of that small girl, your brother refused to help you, Yugo's friend asked. That is why I'm so angry. My brother has never said no to me before, and I don't understand what's going on now, Yugo said. As educated as you are, I'm quite surprised that you're still going to your brother to ask him for money when he should be the one coming to you, Yugo's friend said. What do you mean? Yugo asked. See, that your brother brags too much. Why is he the only one who owns one of the biggest fabric stores in the market, has built one of the biggest houses in this village, and still has many farmlands? Udoka's friend said. We both own the farmlands, they belonged to our parents. What he does is that, after he farms on it, he sells the produce, and we share the profit equally, Udoka explained. Share the profit equally. Udoka, now I know that being educated does not mean the person is wise. How can you be so stupid to believe that your brother shares the profit equally with you? Udoka's friend said. But I know he. Udoka stuttered. Look, Udoka, you have been silent for too long. Your brother is there enjoying your father's properties, and you're here depending on the small chicken change he gives you. Don't you know that he gives you small money so you can keep coming back to him? You better be smart, or you will remain like this forever, Udoka's friend said. So what do you suggest that I do? Udoka asked, and his friend whispered something to his ears. Oh, I can't do such a thing, Udoka exclaimed. How do you know if it wasn't your brother who killed your parents so he could take over the farmlands? Udoka's friend said, but Udoka did not respond. You better act fast. If not, before you know it, his wife will just give birth to a boy, and he will end up inheriting all of those farmlands, and you will be left with nothing, Udoka's friend said. May the gods forbid! Udoka exclaimed. My brother, the ball is in your court. The decision is yours to make. Let me know when you're ready, and I will take you to a place where they can make a potent charm for you, Udoka's friend said before leaving Udoka. Are you enjoying this story? Tell us your favorite part in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to turn on your notification button so you can get a buzz whenever we upload new stories. When Udoka got home, he could not stop thinking of everything his friend had said. I cannot fold my hands and watch Udoka enjoy all of our parents' properties while all I get is chicken change, Udoka soliloquized. My friend is right. With all my education, I am not supposed to be going to Udoka to ask for money, he is supposed to be coming to me, Udoka said to himself. Chai! I have been blind for too long, and it is time to reclaim my rights, he added. Without any hesitation, Udoka agreed to his friend's plan. The next day, Udoka went to his friend's house, and together, they went to see a powerful dibia who would make a potent charm for Udoka. Make sure you add this to his drink. It is very slow, and he will suffer for a long time before he passes away, the powerful dibia said before handing the charm to Udoka. Thank you, I will do as you have said, Udoka said. Don't thank me yet. Come back and thank me when you have achieved your goal, the dibia said before Udoka left his shrine. Coincidentally, on the day, Udoka planned to poison his brother, Udoka. Udoka invited Udoka to his house because he was not happy with how Udoka left that day. How much did you say you wanted? Udoka asked Udoka while they were sharing a calabash of palm wine outside his house. Don't worry my brother, I already got the money, Udoka said. Okay, let me ease myself, I will be right back, Udoka said before leaving Udoka and their palm wine. As soon as Udoka entered his house to use the toilet, Udoka quickly poured the poison he had carried with him into Udoka's palm wine and waited for Udoka to return. I hope I did not keep you waiting for too long, Udoka said as soon as he sat down. No, you didn't, Udoka faked a smile, and he watched as his brother slowly gulped down the poisoned palm wine. Udoka. I will be leaving now, I am expecting a visitor this evening, and I need to go and start preparing for her, Udoka lied. You and women, you will never change, Udoka teased Udoka, there's no problem, you can go. I am even tired, and I need to rest this evening, Udoka said. I will come and visit you tomorrow evening, goodbye, Udoka said, and then he left. Instead of going home like Udoka had claimed, he went to his friend's house, and he told him that he had poisoned Udoka just as they had planned. Don't worry. Very soon, you will be in charge of all the farmlands, his business, and his house, Udoka's friend said. You're forgetting something very important, Udoka said. What's that? Udoka's friend asked. Soma, his wife. I cannot wait to marry her. You know that in our tradition, we can marry our late brother's wife, and I am already excited to have beautiful Soma gracing my bed at night, Udoka said excitedly. Udoka. My friend, you're too much. Do not tell me that you have been eyeing Soma all this while, Udoka's friend said. I have. From the very first day I saw her. Don't you see how she glows like the sun? Who wouldn't want a beautiful and hardworking woman like her? Udoka asked. My guy. You're very sharp. Remember what the Dibia said, the poison is very slow, and it will take some time for it to kill Udoka completely, Udoka's friend said. I don't mind poisoning him again if I have to. In fact, I wish he could just die tonight, so by tomorrow morning, I will go and claim all that's mine, Udoka said. You're very funny. Just relax, everything will be yours in no time, including Soma, Udoka's friend said. The following morning, as soon as Udoka woke up, he went straight to Udoka's house to see if the poison had started working. Unfortunately for him, Udoka was hale and hearty, and it didn't seem like he had ingested anything poisonous. My brother, how are you doing this morning? Udoka asked as soon as he saw Udoka. I'm fine, Udoka. Is everything alright? Why are you here very early in the morning? Udoka asked. Udoka stuttered. I came to ask if the palm wine we drank last night was fresh. After I went home, I had serious stomach bites, and I came to ask if you felt anything, too, Udoka lied. Really? Yes, the palm wine was very fresh. In fact, Amodi, the palm wine tapper, supplied it just some minutes before you arrived, Udoka said. Udoka did not know, but Udoka was trying to find out if Udoka felt any kind of discomfort after ingesting the poison, but he was very disappointed when Udoka said that he didn't feel anything. That means it wasn't the palm wine, it must have been something I ate before I came here, Udoka lied. How do you feel now? Udoka asked. Oh, I feel better. I just wanted to find out if you felt the same way. I see that you're about to go to the farm, so let me be on my way. I will come back in the evening, Udoka said. Oh, won't you stay for breakfast? Udoka asked. Soma is cooking rice, he added. No, I don't want to eat yet. I'm afraid that if I eat something, the stomach bites may continue, so I will skip breakfast this morning, Udoka said. Alright, that's fine. I will see you in the evening, Udoka said. Later that evening, just as Udoka had said, he returned to Udoka's house and stayed with Udoka for hours, expecting that Udoka would react to the poison that evening. However, nothing happened. Udoka was still as strong as he was in the morning. When 3 days passed, and there were no signs that Udoka would fall sick anytime soon, Udoka returned to his friend's house. My friend, this thing is taking too long. I thought that he would at least be sick by now, Udoka said. Oh. Udoka, don't tell me that you went to Udoka's house again today, Udoka's friend asked. I did. What did you expect me to do? Udoka said. Don't you know that if the poison starts working and with the way you have been frequenting Udoka's house, his family will suspect that you have something to do with his sickness, Udoka's friend said. I don't care what anyone thinks. I am losing my patience already. Do you think we should return to the Dibia and tell him to give me another charm? One that is more potent than this one, Udoka said. If that's what you want, we can see the Dibia in 2 days. I would have said we should go there tomorrow, but I will be very busy tomorrow, Udoka's friend said. Okay, next tomorrow is fine. If Udoka had escaped this one, let me see how he will escape the next one, Udoka said. 2 days later, Udoka and his friend went to see the Dibia together. My sons, I wasn't expecting to see you both so fast, the Dibia said. Boba, we are here because I have a problem, Ugo said. What is it? The Dibia asked. It's my brother, Udoka. I poured the poison into his drink like you had instructed, and up till now, nothing has happened, Ugo said in an angry voice. But I thought I told you that the poison was very slow, and it would take weeks to finish off the job, the Dibia said. I knew you said that, but I don't think I can't wait weeks for my brother, Udoka, to die. I have already been fantasizing about his beautiful wife, and I cannot hold it anymore, Ugo said. Is there nothing else you can do for me to make it faster? Ugo added. There is. Do you have anything with you that belongs to him? The Dibia asked. Yes, I have his picture with me, Ugo answered. Okay, that should do. Since you want to finish him up faster, we will summon his spirit here. When he appears, you will talk to his spirit and command him to die. Are you ready? Dibia asked. Yes, I am ready, Ugo answered. Okay, stand in this circle and call your brother's name 3 times. After you call him 3 times, he will appear, and the minute you see him, you will command him to die, the Dibia instructed. Udoka. 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 Ugo called Udoka's name just as the Dibia had instructed, and as soon as he stopped, Udoka walked into the shrine. I command you to die right now so I can claim all of your properties, your business and your wife, Ugo said excitedly. Oh. So it is true, Udoka said in an angry tone. Immediately Udoka spoke. Ugo turned to the Dibia in shock. Was this supposed to happen? Ugo asked the Dibia, but he did not respond. So after everything I have done for you, this is how you repay me? Udoka asked. They warned me and told me that you were ungrateful, and if you had the opportunity to kill me that you would, but I never believed them, Udoka said in a teary voice. While Udoka spoke, Ugo still believed it was his spirit until he saw Udoka's tears. Oh. My brother, it was the devil. Oh, please forgive me, Ugo began to beg Udoka. You tried to poison me, Ugo. I saw it with my own eyes. Your friend here told me everything that you had planned, and I was shocked when I saw you pour that poison into my cup of palm wine, Udoka said. So, you framed me up. I thought you were my friend. How could you do such a thing to me? Ugo said to his friend. No, he didn't frame you. He proved a point. He was only one of the villagers who kept telling me to be careful with you. Even if someone could have advised you to kill me, your only brother, I never believed that you could be so heartless, Udoka said. My brother, please, listen to me. I accept that I did bad by trying to kill you and take all the properties, but he made me do it. Please, let me explain, Ugo said. There is nothing to explain. If someone were to tell you to put your hand in a fire, would you do it? No, you wouldn't. But someone told you to kill your own brother, and you agreed. For the past 5 years, I have taken good care of you, rented a house for you, fed you, and ensured that you were comfortable, and I never complained. But just because I could not help once, you decided to kill me, Udoka said. Udoka, please. Forgive me, I was misled. I swear, I will never do such a thing in my life again, Ugo said. I'm sorry, Ugo, but I cannot forgive you. If it were left to you, I would be dead by now. I don't ever want to see you again or close to my house and my family. As for the plots of land we inherited from our parents, you can take the farmlands by the stream. Henceforth, we are no longer brothers, and you are dead to me, Udoka said before he walked out of the shrine. You connived with my brother to do this to me, Udoka turned to his friend, who had followed him to see the Dibia. Udoka, I didn't do anything. You allowed your greed to overwhelm you. If you truly loved your brother like you said, then you would have never agreed to kill him, Ugo's friend said before leaving Ugo at the shrine. Unfortunately for Hugo, Udoka meant every word he said. In fact, before the end of that day, the news had spread around their village that Hugo had tried to kill his own brother but didn't succeed. After that day, Hugo went to Udoka's house several times to plead with his brother, but every time he went there, Udoka would chase him away with a machete. When Hugo saw that going to Udoka's house by himself was not yielding any results, he involved some elders of their family, expecting that they could beg Udoka to forgive him, but Udoka stood his ground. No matter what Hugo said or who he brought, Udoka could not forgive Hugo after all he had said and did. Whenever Udoka remembered that Hugo was even planning to marry his wife after he killed him, he would get furious. Ultimately, when Hugo could not get his brother to forgive him, he sold off the plots of land Udoka had given him and traveled to start a new life in the city. Unfortunately for Hugo, shortly after he left for the city, he fell very ill, and after several months of trying to get better, Hugo passed away. Strangely, the doctors who treated Hugo could not find any serious illness that could have led to Hugo's death, so they believed that he died from a supernatural cause. Did you enjoy this story? Tell us your favorite part in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to turn on your notification button so you can get a buzz whenever we upload new stories. Thank you.